Hello again, Max Van Draken here with Max Reviews. Gonna do 3 more Godzilla movies. The next 3 up are Godzilla's Revenge, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and Godzilla vs. Gigan. 3 of the less respected movies of Godzilla. First up is Godzilla's Revenge, otherwise known as All Monsters Attack. The Japanese version, and the Japanese name for it was, of course, All Monsters Attack, which is unique. Well, not unique. Why would I say unique? What's the word I'm looking for? Which is ironic, as far as this classic media release is concerned, because the subtitle for this classic media release just happens to be All Monsters Attack. And no, I'm going to say right now, it's not like that because the Japanese name is like that. That's just a subtitle. The other classic media releases don't have, a Japanese release name up there. Like the original Godzilla King of the Monsters doesn't say Gojira at the top. It says the original Godzilla movie classic, and that's not what the Japanese named the movie, obviously. It was just called Gojira. But ironically enough, it says All Monsters Attack at the top of it. And anyway, as far as I'm concerned, this is not a Godzilla movie. Now, don't take that in the wrong in the wrong context. I said Godzilla movie. I said Godzilla movie. I didn't say Godzilla movie. I emphasized movie and not Godzilla. It's definitely Godzilla of some sort. But I would suggest to refer to it more as a feature-length commercial or ad in between shows on TV to try and convince children not to be afraid of their bullies. The crackdown on crime. That dog. Sometimes he does commercials like that. Bite it to the bully. Or something. I forget what he says, but the stuff. To try and help you deal with bullies, which basically what this entire movie is, because it's not really a movie. It's not an actual monster tale. It doesn't have a story specifically for monsters. All the monster scenes in it are either stock footage or shot as dream sequences for the kid in the movie, which Ichiro, his name is Ichiro. It's weird because parents' last name is Miki, but his is just Meek. I don't know what that means, but anyway, Ichiro, these sequences with the monsters are just dreams, and Minya again, the son of Godzilla, who for some reason happens to be the same size as Ichiro. Wonder why? Because he's having the same problems that Ichiro is having with his bully, only Minya's bully just happens to be a giant monster who looks like a bubbly, like dog gremlin thing with herpes on it. Giant monster named Gabara, who sounds like a laughing elephant dog. But if I have to rate this as a movie, which I don't consider it a movie, I would rate it a 1, because in my opinion, it's not a movie, and I refuse to rate anything 0. I really can't say anything else about this movie other than what you should already know, and that it's just not good. It's not. It's got 70% stock footage. It's got this. It's just it. If you haven't endured the agony of watching Godzilla's Revenge, then let me save you of the agony of watching Godzilla's Revenge by simply telling you this. Don't watch Godzilla's Revenge. If you're wanting to watch a Godzilla fight movie and all kinds of explosions and all this cool stuff, you are going to be very disappointed, because that's not what this movie is. Minya talks in this movie. Hi, I'm Minya. I'm gonna be your friend. That's pretty close. But anyway, this is not a movie, in my opinion. So let's move on. Number 2, probably one of the strangest Godzilla movies out there. Godzilla vs. Hedorah, or Hedorah, more commonly known as Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster. Hedorah is just basically a giant pile of shit with eyeballs and can fly and change shape, and apparently can shoot red lightning out of his eye. There is quite literally a scene in this movie where Godzilla falls in a pit and Hedorah stands on the edge of the pit and shits on him and fills the pit with shit and tries to basically smother Godzilla in a giant vat of shit. I am dead serious. I am just dead. Godzilla flies in this movie. Yes, you heard right. If you haven't seen it yet, Godzilla flies. He shoots his breath at the ground and he lifts up in the air and he flies away real fast and chases Hedorah and catches up to him. He flies backwards. I don't know how he sees, but let's just move on from that. This movie gets a 2. No, this movie gets a 3. Just because it was hilarious. The music in it was... this movie was basically made as to try and shut the hippies up, because the environment is just... it has to be saved. And it does. I completely agree with everything environmental, but the movies that they made in the era where that stuff started coming to life were just horrendous. And then they tried to have Godzilla go in that direction by having a monster made out of pollution, and they defeated the monster by killing it with lightning, which is not how you get rid of pollution. And then, they're like, you have to, make sure that, you don't pollute the air. I don't think this movie helped any. So, they really didn't even need to make it. This movie gets a 3 just because it was hilarious. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and do this one like Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah, that sucked, so I'm not going to. Godzilla vs. Gigan brought to life one of my favorite Godzilla monsters, Gigan, who, strangely enough, is not even featured on the case, on the front of the case here. Godzilla, who in this suit looks like a turd with arms, and King Hedorah, the silhouette of King Hedorah in the background. I do think they could have put Gigan in the background, maybe within the city back there. The monster fights, were awesome in this movie. Manguris and everything, and the tower that shot lasers was cool. It was a good movie. The only thing that killed it for me was the talking. And I mean monster talking, dead serious. I talked about it in one of my other reviews. Godzilla and Anguirus talk in this movie. Hey Anguirus, something's going on over there, you better check. Yo, sure. Hurry up. Basically is how it went. And then when they were in the water, they're all like, hey, there's some trouble up ahead. And I was like, wow. I could have gone without that. I would have still understood why they were going to fight the monsters if they hadn't had that. But it's, going towards child entertainment, And the Macho Man Randy Savage doesn't really agree with that. But, I don't know. I give Godzilla vs. Gigan a 5. Basically because the monster fights were good and it introduced Gigan, who must really suck being Gigan because he can't jack off or wipe his ass. So, but he's cool anyway because he's Gigan. But, yes. So Gigan is cool. So in this one I reviewed Godzilla vs. Gigan, who got a 5. Hedorah, who I believe I gave a 3. And whoa, what's this? Godzilla's Revenge, got a 1 because I refused to rate 0. So tune in next time for Max Reviews.